Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Emmanuel, your e-commerce growth expert, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about why you should not rely on Amazon for your e-commerce business. If you own an e-commerce business and you're relying on Amazon to generate a good portion or even a large portion of your sales, then this video is going to be incredibly valuable for you, because today I'm going to be showing you how any business that uses Amazon can stop depending on Amazon, create their own store, generate sales on their own store, and massively grow their sales, grow their profitability, reduce this glooming risk of Amazon shutting down your business for no reason, which happens a lot, by the way. And overall, it's also just going to make your business a lot more valuable, so that ultimately, if you want to sell it, you can sell it for a much higher multiple, aka anything a business owner could possibly want. And I'm actually going to be proving to you with examples and numbers and case studies that focusing your resources on expanding your own store is the most valuable use of your time that you could possibly be doing. Now, big disclaimer before we go any further into this video, I am not saying they should never use Amazon. That's not what I'm saying at all. If you have sales on Amazon, that's completely fine. It's a great additional sales channel, and you should not pull out all your product from Amazon. That's definitely not what I'm advocating here. However, what I am advocating in this video is that I do not think that you should put your time, your money, and your energy into growing your Amazon sales. My argument is you have a limited amount of time, resources, and energy, and that energy and attention is much better focused on your own store and then growing your own store with paid advertising and organic traffic as well. So this is very important. I'm not saying you shouldn't do Amazon at all. I have clients who are on Amazon, which is completely fine. I have no problem with that. But if they start getting all excited about growing their Amazon sales, then that's where I'm like, look, hold off. Let's look at some other things that we can do. And this is what this video is going to be about. So as you can see right now, I am browsing on Amazon's homepage. And actually what this video is going to be mostly like a list of reasons why you shouldn't be relying on Amazon, as well as some very specific examples. So the first reason why you shouldn't rely on Amazon is because you're dependent on them. And you never want to have a single point of failure in your business, even if it's Amazon, close to $1 trillion company. Probably by the time you're watching this video, if it's in a few months or a few years, it's going to be $1 trillion company. Even them, there's always if you're under their control, essentially, I almost want to say that you don't have a real business. It's technically not true, but your business is so fragile. At any point, they can remove your product for any reason. There's dozens of examples online. I'm not going to spend this whole video talking about these examples, but people who just get pulled off of Amazon for no reason. People who just lose their business, they get outcompeted, Amazon creates a similar version of their product and they get destroyed. It's this looming risk at any point that your business could be reduced or shut down because of factors that are completely outside your control. Whereas if you have your own store, a lot of bad things could happen, don't get me wrong. But if you have your own store, it's all under your control. If something goes wrong, it's your fault. You did something wrong, which is much better, because then you can improve it, stop making that mistake, or solve that recurring issue, and then you don't have the problem anymore. Whereas if there's a systemic issue within Amazon where they're competing with you or they're shutting you down or whatever it may be, that's outside of your control. And as a business owner, you really want to limit that. So that's the first reason. It's really a basic one. I'm pretty sure you're aware of this, but I just want to get this out of the way. Now, the second reason, and much more important, is that you don't own the customer if you sell on Amazon. So as you're well aware, when you sell to a customer on Amazon, they don't let you follow up with that customer. Now, I'm aware that there are ways to get the customer's contact information. Brands try to go around this limitation all the time. Ultimately, it's not sustainable because it's against what Amazon wants. Amazon wants to keep the customer because it's their brand. And so these little workarounds, they might work for a while, but that's not what you want to rely on to build a strong, sustainable business that has growing sales for years and years. And so ultimately, you don't own the customer. Now, what happens if you don't own the customer is that you can't sell more to the same customers, which is a huge issue because in competitive markets like the United States or the United Kingdom and even a lot of Western countries nowadays, a lot of time you're not going to make that much money on the first sale, especially if you're advertising a lot. And so what's going to happen is you're not going to be able to advertise quite as much. Because if you advertise as much as you possibly could where you wouldn't make a profit on the first sale, well, you're just screwed because you can't sell more to that same person. Whereas someone who has their own store, they can afford to advertise up to break even where they don't make any money. And then they can sell more to that same person. And once they sell more to that same person, they can make their profit, right? But if you're on Amazon, that's not going to work. And overall, I mean, the other problem too is from a business valuation perspective. A lot of the time, big companies want to buy your business just because they want to buy your customer list, right? They want to sell them their products. And again, you don't own your customer list, your business valuation is lower, life sucks. Now, the third reason is probably actually the worst one. Now, not owning the customer is really bad, but the worst one is the fact that, and that's number 3, that you can't actually use paid ads to scale your Amazon business. Now, I'm aware that there are paid ads on Amazon, but it's like Google search ads or Google shopping. Those things are great. I love them, but they're not very scalable because you're only tapping into a portion of the market that every competitor is tapping into. You have no differentiation. Like if someone wants to buy anti-aging cream, we're going to look at this example in a little bit. They're going to just type it in, compare all the offers, even if it's an ad. I mean, it's still, you're still on the same exact page where all your competitors are. And a lot of time they're going to decide based on price. Maybe something looks a little bit more premium, whatever. But you're still competing within a given set of parameters that you have no control over. Like you have a product title, an image, little description, that's it. You can't change how the page is laid out. You have no control over this. Furthermore, again, you have no control over the landing page. The landing page is Amazon's page. And one of the biggest leverage points for any e-commerce business is their landing pages. Like I'm a big advocate of using sales funnels and things like that, which we'll talk about in a minute. And with Amazon, you just can't do that because again, your product page is what it is. It's Amazon's design. Just get on with the program. And that's a big problem. And then the other big issue is you can't upsell the customers because again, you're using Amazon's platform. Upsells can add 10 up to sometimes 50% extra sales at no extra cost. And they're probably one of the most important things that you need to run paid ads successfully on a large scale. And with Amazon, you just can't have upsells, which is a huge problem. And just in general, you have no control over how the process through which a customer goes through to buy your product. It's just you're working within Amazon's parameters, and that's always going to ultimately limit your profitability and your success. Because again, if you want to be successful online, if you want to be very profitable, you need to do things different from what other people are doing, and you just can't do that within Amazon's ecosystem. And then the fourth reason, I mean, you're just building Amazon's brand and not your own. And it's kind of a long-term thing, right? In the short term, that's not what determines your success. But in the long term, you want to have customers who know you, who know your brand, and who trust you. Now, obviously, if they buy from Amazon, you get a small branding boost because they still get your packaging and your product. They can still experience it. But at the end of the day, you're still coming in an Amazon box most of the time if you're using FBA, fulfillment by Amazon, which is the best option. And they still associate that purchase with Amazon. And if they want to buy again, they're going to buy again on Amazon, not on your store. Again, Amazon takes a 15% cut of all sales. So you're just losing some margin by relying exclusively on Amazon. Again, obviously, if you have an Amazon business, you probably have a store. But that's not where you're putting your time and your energy into. And that's a big problem. And reason number 5 is kind of a funny one that I wrote down. It's like a drug addiction. And it really is because it's a lot easier to grow your sales on Amazon than elsewhere. But the problem is those sales are usually a lot less profitable because you're competing on price a lot of the time. Because Amazon also takes a cut of your sales. And just because overall you can't scale, you can't raise your conversion rates that much, you really have no control. But it's a drug addiction because you can actually do really big numbers on Amazon, and you see those numbers going up, and you get a lot of dopamine when you see those numbers going up. But at the end of the day, how much money in terms of like net profits, what you actually get to keep at the end of the day, it's not going to be that good. Because with a business that relies on paid ads, you can get so much more volume and you can keep a much better margin because you keep that 15% that Amazon would usually take. And overall, those factors just compound. Now, I've been talking a lot here. I want to walk you through a little example here. Now, this is a little spreadsheet that I put together. And again, this is very like all the numbers are rounded out. This is not exact math. If there's a little mistake, don't call me out on it. The general theme works pretty well. And I'm not the best guy at math, so it is what it is. Get along with the program. So there's going to be two examples. There's going to be the Amazon example versus your own store example. Now, in the end, this is just imagine in two separate universes, there's one person who grew two separate businesses. And we're just going to compare those two alternative realities, right? In the first reality, it's a guy, same business and everything. On Amazon, it's doing about $50,000 a month. That's about $600,000 a year. Now, the way the margins work is you've got the 15% Amazon fee. We're just estimating 10% product cost. Again, some business is going to be higher or lower. And then 15% storage, fulfillment, returns, etc. So of gross sales. So we got about a 60% margin before ads, which means that for $100 sold, you've got about $60 of actual money that you could potentially spend on ads to advertise the product. Now, the initial metrics of the store, you've got a 3% conversion rate, which is very high. But again, remember, this is on Amazon. You've got the trust, etc. So that's quite nice. We've got a $30 first order average order value, which means that every first customer on average brings in $30 in revenue. $35 LTV, which means that some people buy again. We've got around 1,300 new customers a month. In this study for both stores, I'm counting about a 20% repurchase rate, which is quite high. So we're assuming it's a good business, right? And so the cumulative added LTV of these new customers is about $6,500. It's just the extra $5 here multiplied by number of new customers. What this means is every month, I don't know what I did there. Every month, you have to account for the fact that about $6,500 in extra revenue, which is all profits because there's no cost to make it, is going to come within the next month, few months, or potentially years. So by the way, on this, for the LTV, we're assuming a 1-year LTV. So this means in the next 12 months, there's going to be an extra $6,500 a month. So it's technically, almost $56,000 a month of revenue. And the question is, and now what? Right? Because this guy, he wants to grow his business, right? I mean, $50K per month, it's nice, but you're not going to, make millions with this. If you even by selling the business, you could do a lot better. So what can he do? Well, he can't really raise his conversion rates because he has no control over the product page. He can't upsell his customers, so that means he's always going to have a lower AOV than what he could potentially have because, again, he's working on Amazon. And it's hard for him to send offers to existing customers just because of what we talked about. So again, there's a lower LTV. Now, let's see what happens. Let's say he really focuses on it. He does everything right. Everything is nice and fancy. So he improves the product description, like literally every little thing he can improve, he does it. 3.3% conversion rate, 10% extra. This is quite nice for Amazon. $33 first order AOV, boosted by 10%. He gives some special discounts for ordering more, does this whole thing, 10% extra. Nice. $40 LTV, he finds some workarounds to send some offers to some customers, a little bit of extra LTV. This is actually, I should not have increased it at all, but just for the sake of the example, I increased it. So overall, after this, he's getting about 1,430 new customers per month. The cumulative added LTV of these customers is about 10 grand. So again, it's a nice improvement. Again, it's the principle of cumulative improvements. If you make little improvements at every step of the business, the end difference is going to be more significant than the total of these three. It's just compounded returns, really. So after you've got around $70,000 per month, around $840,000 per year, the business is also more profitable because you get more LTV, and by spending the same amount and everything, it gets more. Super nice, right? This could be like a case study for an Amazon course or whatever. But that's not what we're here. This is actually a case study of something that is bad, believe it or not. Because this is the case study of what's possible for the own store. Now, in this alternative universe, this same guy, same product, he's on his own store, right? So it's not as easy to get sales. So I'm assuming about $25,000 a month in sales. It's a little bit of a hustle to get them going, about $300K per year. Now, in this example, it's the same metrics without the Amazon fee. And actually, I just realized that there's a mistake somewhere. Oh, no, there's no mistake. That's good. So about 10% product cost, and I made it a little bit more expensive for the stores, the fulfillment, the returns, because Amazon's more efficient at doing it. So you typically benefit from those efficiencies. So that's why here we've got about 70% margin before ads. 10% extra, which at scale is going to make a big difference, as we'll talk about in a minute. Now, in this store, the reason why it's getting less revenue is just the lower conversion rate, 1.5% conversion rate. Pretty standard for your run-of-the-mill e-commerce store that's not like a big brand. There's a little bit less trust, people a little bit more reluctant to purchase. Again, same thing, $30 AOV, $35 LTV, around 825 sales a month. Cumulative added LTV of new customers, $4,125. And now what? Well, now you create a sales funnel to raise conversions and average order value, which you can now do because you have full control over the order process. So you can have some landing pages, some advertorials, all kinds of funnels that you might want to do. And it's going to work because you can control the order process. You can have your own custom checkout page, which is going to boost conversions as well. There's a million things you can do for this. Then you add and test some upsells, one-click upsells to raise average order value. Make them some really, have a really solid upsell sequence, and that's going to boost your AOV, which you can do, unlike on Amazon. And lastly, you're going to send some high-quality email sequences to new customers and some special offers in your actual product packages and potentially some SMS promotions. Make sure you have really good deliverability. You have some sales letters for your backend products, perfect setup, and you do everything right. So what happens after this? Well, you can actually boost this to 5% conversion rate. Now, I know this sounds absolutely insane, but with a dedicated sales funnel, with amazing sales copy, you can have a huge increase in conversion rate. Now, the reason why this is a theoretical example, because what's going to happen is when you have a much better sales funnel, you're going to be able to target much wider audiences using paid advertising. And what's going to happen with that is that, even though technically you actually have a lower conversion rate on those audiences, the traffic is also cheaper because the audiences are broader. And overall, you're just going to get a lot more sales because it's just a fundamentally better sales funnel that's differentiated from your competitors. And not every guy has the exact same page, like on Amazon, where everyone has the same page. So this 5% conversion rate, it really stands for a better sales funnel that allows you to get a lot more bang for your buck and to target wider audiences, right? Now, you've got $45 first order AOV. That's a $15 increase, which is really not that hard to achieve if you know what you're doing. If you have the right offer after purchase, there's specific ways to do it, which I'll probably talk about in other videos in the future. And by the way, like and subscribe if you actually want to get those videos with a lot more info about how to do all of this. But you can increase your average order value a lot more than this, but this is a conservative example. And then you've got about $80 lifetime value. Now, this, again, it's going to sound like a lot. It's really not that much because, again, first of all, the AOV itself has been increased of the first order. So it's only really $35 extra, which is not even 50%. Which is not even doubling, but the LTV is going to be improved that much because with good high quality email sequences using good copywriting principles, some good special offers, some SMS promotion, you can massively increase the repurchase rate. You can also massively increase the transaction amount of the next transactions, etc. So you really have a lot of leverage in terms of your ability to get more lifetime value out of your customers. And I've seen it, by the way, I've seen this be a lot more than this. And this is just the 12-month LTV. So if you're talking about a business that's run over 5 years, this is just going to be, even crazier. This is going to be like $200 LTV versus like, I don't know, like $60 here. Like it just compounds ridiculously. So if you got about 2,750 sales per month, again, representative of the increase in potential traffic you can get. And you've got a cumulative added lifetime value of new customers of $96,250. And again, remember, this number is just all profit. And if we look at the end result of this little case study here, again, this is the metrics are approximated, etc. We've got about $130,000 per month in sales, which leads to about $1,500,000 per year. And again, you can see how this compounds completely differently. Why? Because you have control. It always comes back to this. You control the order process, you control the customer acquisition, you control everything. As a result, almost twice as much in sales. Again, you also have way more profits because this is all profits. You don't have the 15% Amazon fee. So, even though it costs you a little bit more here, you've got like an extra 10% margin, which obviously makes a huge again, we're talking, it's an extra 150K here plus 96K here. For all the math fans, I'll let you do the exact numbers. But this is actually how it would work out in real life pretty closely. And yeah, this is a good example to show you which is pure math, how your own store is always going to beat out selling on Amazon. Now, quick little example at the end to show you the real life difference. So this is just like a random anti-aging product that I found on Amazon. NASA STEM technology, they really optimized everything. It's a super nice thing. Super nice product listing. They have, I think, probably like a dermatologist or something. So they really went all the way here. 620 ratings, reviews. Super nice, right? Well, they're still on Amazon, so they're still selling it for about $20, which, believe me, for this industry is very, very low. Very nice description, but at the end of the day, they're just doing everything they can, but this is about it. They can just have like a description here and that's about it. Some reviews. They probably, some companies buy reviews, but 4.5 out of 5. It is what it is, right? For me as a marketer, this is deeply sad because they have no leverage over anything. Now let's look at this example, which is a company that I've talked about before and I'll talk about again, BioTrust, 9-figure business. And these guys have complete control over everything. So they're selling the same product. It's called Ageless Glow, which probably does about the same thing if you're asking me. And now they've got a sales letter introducing Ageless Glow, smoother, firmer, younger looking skin as little as 7 days. They have actual direct response copy. They can do anything they want on this page, right? They're selling you on how it works. They have this unique system. It's amazing, blah, blah, blah. They introduce the product. It's good for the planet. Whatever. They have their own guarantee, which I think you can do here actually, but here they can emphasize it however they want. Again, this is not even as optimized as it could be. These guys don't care. They have huge customers list. They just blast offers all the time, right? And then if you want to buy, they have their own specific offers here, which is going to massively increase AOV, again, which is why sales funnels are so effective at raising average order value. And let's say you want to buy this one. We want to buy 3 bottles. You go to their own shop. Now, in this case, they have, again, you can see you get a free coaching, top 10 anti-aging superfoods ebook. You get a free bonus here. Their conversion rate on this is going to be so much higher. Again, they have money back guarantee. You can even put like a countdown timer here, which is going to increase conversions even more. You can, again, they're incentivizing you to get text alerts so they can send you promotions by SMS. And then when you buy this, believe me, you're going to get the whole email sequence of endless promotions with literally dozens of products that are promoting you. So your lifetime value is just going to be massively higher from these guys. And that's how these guys do it. And you can see, and now when I actually show you, I hope these numbers make more sense, because here you might be like, I don't know, I don't believe it. Well, if you look at this, if you ask me, I think it's pretty obvious that this company here is going to do a lot better than this company here. Even though this might actually be a better product, I don't know. I haven't done the research into these two products, but it doesn't actually matter. What matters is these guys have control and these guys don't. And that's the difference. So if you have an Amazon business or if you sell mostly on Amazon, please stop focusing on Amazon. Focus on your own store. Please, just do it for me. Just do it so I don't get heart attacks. So I live a long and healthy life. But in all seriousness, if you do have an Amazon business and you're generating, a good amount of sales, at least probably $20,000 a month, and you want to know more about how to actually do this, how to make the transition, I've done it before for Amazon businesses. It's not as hard as it sounds. Setting all this up is not that difficult. So if you're interested, I'm going to put a link in the description down below with the link to my website with my consulting page, where you can learn a lot more about my consulting program. As I'm shooting this video, I still have a few spots. It's actually filled out faster than I thought, which is really nice. But when you apply, it might not be available right away, it might be a little wait list, completely fine. But again, there's the details with the consulting program. It's basically me like helping you set up all this stuff in your business, in your store, setting up the funnels, setting up the correct sequences to have really incredible lifetime value, and just setting up your business so you can actually grow and get a lot more sales. So that's about it for today's video. I hope you really enjoyed it. Again, remember to subscribe, like this video, and I will talk to you guys very soon.